Are you not entertained? Arsenal 3, Sunderland 0. Clean Sheet FC is back with a vengeance. First of all, there have been multiple times in the short history of this channel that I've had to not fully express how I truly feel about something. Today's going to be another one of those times. I'm not going to sit here and say what I truly think about Sunderland, about a few of their players. But what I will say is Sunderland, hold that. Going to your ground earlier this season was not a fun experience. I'm not blaming you for being that good and having that good an atmosphere that we felt partly intimidated and couldn't end up getting a result. But Sunderland, I still do not like you. And there are a few of your players who, again, I will not go into full detail as to what it is I don't like about them and what I truly think of them. But those two players, I will say, are Granit Xhaka and Dan Ballard. Think about what those two players have in common. That's all I'll say. Hold that, Sunderland. Before today, Sunderland were the only current Premier League team that Arsenal had not beaten under Mikel Arteta in the Premier League. Today, that changed. Now, all other 19 teams in the current Premier League season, all other 19 teams, aside from Arsenal have beaten in the Premier League under Mikel Arteta. Sunderland was the last one remaining. Finally, we have beaten them. We have crossed them off the list. All 19 teams are now crossed off the list. And looking at the match as a whole, it's job well done. It was a game of two halves, much like Leeds. The first half, very similar to the first half against Leeds. Very tricky to break down Sunderland. They were very resolute with their shape, not allowing Arsenal through, trying to frustrate us. That was something we knew full well they would try to do going into the game. And it proved really, really tricky for us to break through as the half went on and on, particularly from probably minute 30 to 40. I was thinking we aren't going to score in this first half unless it's from a corner or a ball into the box, much like against Leeds. Against Leeds, the first goal comes from a Madueke cross into the box from an area that is pretty much right next to the corner flag. I was thinking it's going to be something very similar. It's either going to be a corner or a ball into the box from a very similar area to a corner. That's going to get us a goal. Let me tell you something. That wasn't a corner. That wasn't a ball into the box. That was Martin Zubimendi once again revealing to the world how good a goal scorer he truly is. The technique on that strike, the power on that strike is ridiculous. Whether he truly meant to use that technique with that accuracy and that power, we will never truly know. But of course, we're going to act like he definitely did. And in that case, it's a banger of a finish, an absolute banger for 1-0. Martin Zubimendi, why oh why, for your entire career, have you hid from the world that you are an elite goal scorer? That is 6 goals for Arsenal in his first season, and we're only in February. Last season, he had 2 goals for Real Sociedad in all competitions. I don't think he's ever hit more than, 4 goals for his club in one season. Coming to Arsenal, February, in his first season, 6 goals. 5 of them in the Premier League. What's going on? Zubimendi, man, what a signing. Our best signing of last summer, no doubt about that. GYOKERES is improving, don't get me wrong. He's scoring more goals. He's having far bigger impacts, especially later on in games when it begins to open up. But Zubimendi, apart from one stupid mistake against United and a couple issues with his positioning and whatnot, never puts a foot wrong. Never ever puts a foot wrong. He makes me feel comfortable in a footballing sense. He's reassuring. He's just always there to receive the ball, to slow down, play when it needs to be slowed down, speed up, play when it needs to be sped up. He knows what to do all the time. Stone cold metronome. He feels like Arsenal's very own Busquets. I'm not comparing the two, okay? But that's what he feels like to me. Is Arsenal's very own Sergio Busquets. Coming out in the second half, no changes, and Sunderland were better than us. That's something I'm not happy with. I think it was the Leeds game again, very similar to the Leeds game. This match was, where Sunderland came out in the second half, much the better side than us. And again, probably the first 20 or 30 minutes, it was all them. We couldn't do anything. We looked really shaky at the back. You know, couple moments where your heart is basically in your neck, wondering what is going to happen next. There was a ball over the top towards Talby. We don't quite deal with it. And then the ball comes the way of, I believe, Robbie. And Saliba's out to make a last-ditch challenge. There was another moment with Talby, who is given way too much space after another shaky sequence where it's rebounded to the edge of the box. Talby's got it, taken a couple touches, forced a very, very good save out of David Raya. And again, overall, in that first 20, 30 minutes of the second half, really shaky. Lack of composure. We couldn't really settle in the second half. Pretty much identical to the Leeds game. And, you know, I would say on a different day, things could have gone very differently. We could have been punished for how shaky we looked in the first 20, 30 minutes of the second half. But that's 2 weeks in a row where we've broken down a very resolute low block in the first half, managed to get a goal or two in the case of Leeds going into half time. And then in the second half, we are the second best team for the first 20 or 30 minutes. And we look shaky. The other team looks like they could score. And we still find a way to get out. And credit to us, because once we finally managed to get back up the pitch towards Leeds' goal, it took us really only one chance. It's a really scrappy goal, once again, from VIKTOR GYOKERES. Who else is it going to be to score a really, really scrappy goal? I don't care how scrappy the goals are from VIKTOR GYOKERES. All I care about is that man putting the ball into the back of the net. They can be the scrappiest goals of all time. As long as he is putting chances away and creating space for his teammates, I could not care less how VIKTOR GYOKERES managed to get his goals. And it's a very bizarre sequence of play where Trossard held onto the ball for, must have been upwards of 20 seconds down the left flank. Next thing I know is Trossard has put a peach of a ball, very clever ball, in behind for Kai Havertz, who's in lots of space. It looks offside. It was a very, very coolly timed run from Kai Havertz. He's definitely onside in a lot of space. And again, it's scrappy, but VIKTOR GYOKERES manages to get hold of it. The shot is one Robin Russ, the goalkeeper, should have done a lot better with. Do we care? No. Again, scrappy as all hell, but it's in the net. That's all that matters. For GYOKERES, that is 6 goals in his last 8 games. 6 goals in 8. That's good. That's really good. These goals, apart from the one against Kyra 2 minutes in, these goals are all coming later on in the game, second half, when the game is open. The game is there for a player like him who thrives off space, getting in behind, and he's really, really helpful in putting some of these tricky games to bed against low block sides. Finally, when the game opens up a little bit, he is getting really, really good at being the one to not only create more space, but actually take advantage of that space himself by scoring a goal, helping us finish off the game, happening against Leeds last week, happening against Sunderland this week. And it's these games, to be honest, that cost us last season against low block sides, against resolute sides. There's a massive, massive help. And from there, I didn't lose interest or anything, but you kind of just assume we're going to be okay here. 2-0 up at the Emirates after an hour or so. There's no way we squander that. I know potentially PTSD from what happened against United the other week, but 2 goals is a different game. I don't even know when the last time was that we squandered a 2-goal lead to not win in a Premier League game or in any competition for that matter. And it's very typical from Arsenal after getting that second goal. Low block, because why not? Because we're 2 goals up, because we can, because we're Arsenal, because we can do whatever we want. We wait for our moments. We don't force anything. We're 2 goals up. We know full well we can just sit back, stay solid, stay switched on, and we aren't going to screw it up from there. And, if we're lucky, we'll get another breakaway, and then from there, it's on us to put it away, which we do. It's a really, really good ending. Martinelli has done terrifically to get through with Robin Russ. He's done so well to hold off his marker there, used his body really well. It's gone all the way, and at the last second, he finds VIKTOR GYOKERES to the left of him. For a moment, I panicked. For a moment, I thought he wasn't going to put it away. Left-footed finish from VIKTOR GYOKERES. Does the mask celebration on the ground afterwards because he can, right? Because he can do whatever he wants, because he has 13 goals for Arsenal now. And then that's game well and truly over. We could have had another one right at the end, but 3's enough. 3 is enough. At the end of the day, you cannot complain about that. And 13 games to go now. We are 9 points clear at the top of the Premier League table, ahead, that is, of City going to Anfield tomorrow. The world's eyes is going to be on that game tomorrow. And once again, we've got unlucky with the scheduling. We've had our game before City's game on the weekend. But if we'd not won that game, City would be full of confidence against Liverpool tomorrow. Instead, we've won this game. We've got 9 points clear. The pressure is going to be on City now. They know they have to win at Anfield. When have they last won at Anfield? They have to go and do that tomorrow. Otherwise, they are either 9 points behind us or 8 if they can get a draw. A win would be what would take it back to 6 points. I don't see them getting a win. The form they are on, the form Liverpool's on. Liverpool are hitting form. Liverpool are clicking. City have 1 win in their last 6 Premier League games. They are going to be feeling the pressure. I do not see them winning that game. I think we are going to end this weekend either 8 or 9 points clear. And we are, early February, only 13 games to go. Even if it's 8 points clear with 13 games to go, we cannot screw it up from there. We just cannot. From here, I feel like I don't even need to say it, but I'm going to anyway, because I can. Arsenal Football Club are winning the Premier League title this season. Good night.